killed it for contact mapping on the segment that we did. Just unbelievable. Hello, everybody. It is Tom Chenault, and it's the Network Marketing Leadership Show. And what a day it's going to be. We have got my little boy here, Adrian, and he found a book that blew his mind, sought out the author, and decided to get her on the show and said, Dad, this woman has written an unbelievable book for women, but I read it, and I am telling you, you need to read it. So I started reading it and it was too deep for me. So immediately he gave me the cliff notes. But I am telling you, Michelle Cunningham is all of it in a bag of chips, and you are going to want to pay attention. She's a mom. She's got an unbelievable track record and pedigree in network marketing. So she's not trying to be somebody to sell us something she's never done. She just figured a smarter way, and I did some research on her, and I am telling you, she is the real deal, and I love her for two reasons. Number one, her book and her content, and number two, because my little boy Adrian loves her so much. So Adrian, what do you think of her?
Absolutely. So it's funny, people just kind of start popping up into your world, and you kind of you see them and you go, oh, they seem like they know what they're doing, and you kind of keep scrolling or whatever because there's so much stuff. But somehow I just kept hearing about you, Michelle, and finally I was like, all right, I gotta reach out to this person and get to know what she's all about. And so, you and I had a chance to connect a couple of months ago, and I just love your energy. I love what you're about, and I love how much you are committed to helping other people. And so, welcome to the show. It's great to have you.
Yeah, it's such an honor. You guys are like legends, so this is a big deal, but I appreciate you guys having me on so much. And it was super awesome to connect with you. I was like, you guys are my kind of people. So this is awesome to be here.
We live, we laugh, we make mistakes, we fail forward, and we learn from whippersnappers. And that's my whole mantra. And you, young lady, have number one, how you were 17 years in the network marketing business, or 14?
17 years. Yeah.
You start.
Yeah. It was 7.
No. Did you start?
So I was 23 years old. So
23 years old.
Yeah, that's when I got in.
And how long ago did you write this book?
Last month.
Last month. And how long did it take you to write it?
3 days.
3 days, and you knocked it out.
That is incredible.
Well, I got to tell you the story. So I found these girls that wrote a book, and I'm like, well, I want to write a book. And they're like, listen, it's got to be 25,000 words. And I was like, all right, 25,000 words. Okay, got it. So that night I was like, all right, I'll start to write the book. And the kids are toddling around. They're 5 and 8 and they're playing around me. And that night in 1 hour, I cranked out 1,000 words. So just like logic said to me, sweet, I just need 25 more hours. So I said to my husband that day, this is just true Michelle Cunningham fashion. Like, let's just get this done. And so I said, honey, would you mind if tomorrow I just go to a hotel for 2 nights? And he goes, yeah, no, that's fine. I was like, just the logic is it could take a whole year to write the book. It could be very painful and very annoying and very stressful, or I could just go do it, this weekend. He goes, yeah, why don't you go? So I went.
Girl. So all we have is a draft document. It's so fresh that it's going to come out here pretty quick, correct?
It's hit, Dan Henry's editor helped to smudge it up, and now it's on its way to the formatter person. I learned a lot about books. And then the cover's done already, so it comes back to me, and then it goes off to Amazon. So I'm excited.
Wow. That is incredible. It is such a feat that you wrote that book in that kind of time, and such a testament to how much this was already inside of you that it just had to come out, number one. But that's like relentless focus and like just making it happen, because you would, wow, I'm very impressed about that.
Yeah, thank you. I was a bit worried with the time frame, and I said, I let people read it and they all loved it. And I was like, okay, good. I didn't want them thinking I threw together garbage. I put a lot, I was super hyper focused, right? But,
yeah.
What was that?
You have a lot of experience, so it was pretty easy just to pour your heart out. Let me ask you a question that might be a little bit off topic, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Did you have braces on your teeth?
Yeah.
You got the best teeth, so your parents got their money's worth.
Thank you. Yeah, I had braces, but I also have this cool filter that makes my teeth look whiter while I'm live.
Really?
Ooh, that's a tip. That's a tip that's worth the price of admission. I need to know the name of that.
you. I knew that was out of the way. It was bugging me that I had to ask.
Well, I'm just glad we could derail the line of questioning just to make sure that we could satisfy that question.
Thank you very much. All right.
Thank
So
you.
what's the book about?
So
Like-
the book is basically, it's my journey of how I was a shy girl from humble beginnings. I came from a very poor family growing up. My mom was a single mom of 3 kids. And so anything I've ever wanted in life, I had to work for. I had to come up with my own money, first day of school outfit or anything like that. And so I was introverted for most of my life, and always felt less than those around me, just because when you've got less than those around you, you do feel somewhat inferior. And I got involved in network marketing when I was 23. And those next 6 years, I did nothing with it because I was too nervous and shy to approach anyone. And so the book is basically this journey of like what I did in those 6 years, how I felt like a loser, how I couldn't reach out to people, how I was too nervous, all the negative things I was saying in my head, to the one day that everything changed. 29 years old, I said, I need to make this work. Like, I am fed up enough with corporate America. I was fed up enough that I need to make this work. And so I sought out a local leader that kind of showed me the ropes. And it was every step and every action I took from that day forward. And I basically walk you through, like, so that day I went to a networking event. I've never been to one. I was mortified. I was scared, but I met a person that was nice. And I didn't dare tell him I was involved with a network marketing company because I was too scared, but I emailed them. And so I just talk about these very small little wins that I had in my journey where I was like, I sent an email. I am so good. And then, the email then led to the person eventually coming over for an appointment. And that person I eventually built a relationship with, and they eventually joined my team. And so I take you on these stories of all the people I meet in my journey, but it's really a great story for anyone who's introverted, or you're struggling, or you're stuck, or you want a different way. And it's how I built it in person with people, and then how I took it also online through my YouTube channel and started attracting business on autopilot to me. So it's this whole journey over the course of the 17 years.
That's so fun. I was sending you some messages earlier because it's story woven into strategy, woven into really specific tactics, and like, this is the actual email that I sent, and this is what you could do, and like, really, it makes it so it's like, I feel like I got to kind of be a fly on the wall of your journey of figuring this stuff out and making mistakes along the way, and finding your way through this path, which is what what we all have to do. But it's like, you get to come along for your journey in very specific ways, and so it's great that you emailed them, because now you can go back and find the old email, right? Like, you actually have the records of all this stuff, and that's really cool. And I found myself going, yeah, cool. Like, I could see how each one of these things happened, and I see how you did it offline first, and then how you moved into online. And so the whole journey is really, really cool. And so we're gonna actually take a break here in just a second. But before we go off to the break, what I want you to do, Michelle, tell them where they can go to grab their pre-order or get on the list for when the book launches.
Awesome. So if you go to doitanywaygirl.com, so it's doitanywaygirl.com, you can get on the wait list for the book, and we'll notify you when it's officially here.
Awesome.
Well, we're going to take a break. This is the Genesis Communication Network. Thank you so much, Ted Anderson, for putting us on. I love Michelle Cunningham. You have to buy her book during the break. We'll be back.
And we're back.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, we're
Not
at the
bad. All right. This is fun. Well, so Michelle, it was fun also reading your book. And so on the break, we'll talk about maybe some more sort of like relationship and follow up, and some of the themes that are kind of the intersection points between what you did and contact mapping. And so talk a little bit. I loved you, like, you really specifically were like, you got to have a way to keep yourself organized so nobody falls through the cracks, and how important that was during especially those early days when you were kind of figuring things out. So talk a little bit about how you managed to keep yourself organized and make sure people didn't fall through the cracks.
I would say that that was one of those things that was always a bit messy for me, right? And I had a software that I used, but at the time there wasn't anything that was like perfect, right? So I had a little software, I put people in there, but then I'd be on my phone and the people weren't in there. And so then I'd have a notebook and then I'd put people in there and then I'd go over here and then I left the notebook back at home. And so I had messy systems over the years, but it was all that there was. There was no other option, right? And so I definitely didn't have the most perfect system, but it was lots of lists, lots of phone, lots of computer, jumbled up. And I remembered to check on them, but I'm sure I lost some people through the cracks, right?
Yeah, yeah, totally. And that's the thing, right? I think it's so easy when you are in this place of, I'm trying to get this thing going. I don't necessarily have an ironclad system. And so I've got this notebook over here and those, I've got in my purse or in the, in that jacket pocket, those 10 business cards from that networking event that I just realized I never got around to scanning. And I've now forgotten who those people were. And, stuff's all over the place. And when you finally get it all pulled together, that becomes a pretty powerful sort of force multiplier of being able to be more effective in building your business, right?
Totally. Yep. It's totally true. And which is why, like, when I saw your software, I'm like, what? Like, wish I had this when I was in the industry. It's amazing. It's smart.
Yeah, thank you very much. Marianne, that break does not make mathematical sense. when are we coming back?
When did we go out?
Okay, I got it.
Perfect. Yeah, let us know. We either have 7 more minutes of break. There we go. All right, we got 90 seconds. That's awesome. So, what was kind of your way of following up with people when you were first getting going to try to book these appointments and move your business forward?
Well, I got referrals from everybody that came, and I share this in the book, but I got referrals on a piece of paper. They would give me 20 names and I put them inside a binder. So I had binders that had all the people in it, and that was how I kept track of everybody and then messaged everybody. So it was really the binder system that I used, and then I would save them in my phone and try to save them to a certain group name or something, but it got messy sometimes, right? So it was checking back with these binders as much as I could and reaching out that way.
Nice, nice. All right. So if you are a binder person combined with pieces of paper floating around your desk and in your purse and wherever the heck you find those pieces of paper, then contact mapping, I promise, will come to the rescue for you. It lives on top of the contacts that are already in your phone. It's the easy place for you to be able to use your voice to dictate the things you want to remember about every person that you meet. And then it reminds you when it's time for you to follow up with those people. So it just makes everything easy, and it's totally free. So you can go to contactmapping.com/free. You can set up your account, no credit card required. You're going to fall completely in love with us. You're going to want the premium version that gives you social media integrations. So go check it out right now.
And we're back. It is Tom Chenault. That's Adrian Chenault. It's the Network Marketing Leadership Show. We've got Michelle Cunningham with us. I am telling you, I don't know what you're doing right now. You might be watching something. You might be doing something. You might be watching Netflix, The Queen's Gambit. But as you're doing it, start looking around at Michelle Cunningham's pages, because I am telling you, this woman is raw. She is real, and you want to follow her. And you want to buy her book when it comes out, and you want to become a fan of hers, because she is absolutely authentic and the real deal. And that's the kind of people that you want to follow in anything that you do. I love her, and she's got the right kind of vibe. We're going to make her a friend of the show, probably an honorary contactmapping.comer, everything. So take it away.
That's so fun. So this is our shortest segment. So I want to talk, let's kind of try to get up to the point where you sort of had this next breakthrough of finding YouTube and kind of finding the digital side of it. So just talk a little bit about your journey of struggling at first, having come from a traditional corporate sales background and getting it kind of figured out for the first time of building a more traditional way, building your business.
Yeah. So initially, right, I was just hosting home parties, meeting people that way, getting referrals from the parties, booking future parties from that, and then recruiting and a coffee date. And there was one night, it was about 6 years in, I got bored and I said, at that point I had a pretty large team. I was kind of on autopilot, making a great income. I said, maybe I was going to make a YouTube video tonight. I don't know YouTube, but why don't I put a video out there? And so I put out my first YouTube video. And initially, my first YouTube channel was about organizing. I thought that would be fun. And then I realized it's not fun. I don't like organizing. I don't like talking about it. So then I decided I didn't want to do that, which is good. I share that part of the story because some of you are holding back on starting a YouTube channel. But I say just start one, even if it's stupid. My stupid channel is still out there. She is Organized is still out there. It's got 7 stupid videos that I made that still get views to this day. Point being, you can have a bad channel. So so I had this YouTube channel, and then I said, I don't like organizing. Why am I doing this? I like to talk about network marketing stuff. I like to talk about succeeding. I like to talk about, hey, I'm introverted. This is how I built my business, never walking up to one stranger. And so I started to make those videos. And overnight, I realized that was my thing, right? It just felt right in my heart. I wanted to film them more. And I would wake up and there would be 10 messages in my inbox from people who had seen the YouTube video. And they're like, I love you. Can you make more? Like, these are awesome. And I was like, really? That wasn't even that awesome. It was just like what I know. And I realized at that point that people will look to you as an expert when you share with them something that they don't already know, which I was like, oh, okay, I'll just keep sharing my stuff. And some people will think it's awesome. And it started to help people. It started to change lives. And I got like addicted to it. I was like, this is so fun. So I committed to one YouTube video a week. And that is what I did initially. I didn't know you could make money from YouTube. I didn't know any of that.
Wow, that's wild. And so you've talked a few times about being an introvert. How was it as an introvert? Was it easy to talk on camera? Was it hard to talk? Like how did those two things connect for you? Whether it was that it was hard at first or that it was easy because it wasn't actually a person across the table that could bite you.
Yeah, I think what's cool about it is I can be me on video because there's no one in the room with me. There's no one interrupting me. Like you put me in a social gathering with like 5 people, I'm pretty quick to let everyone else chit chat, right? I'm not a big interrupter. I'll just let you talk, but you never really get to know me because I'm not going to jump in. Whereas when I'm on camera, I'm like, yes, I can talk about anything. I can be my weird self. And so that just who I am actually just comes out in camera. And I realized that there was something that people liked about just me, which I never thought people would like me. I guess for so much of my life, I didn't think I was likable just because of how I grew up and the struggles I had. And so it was cool to be on camera and realize, oh my gosh, I can't believe people like me, like actually me. All right, cool. I'll just be me now. And so it was this very freeing feeling for me as an introvert.
That's pretty cool.
I'm an introvert. Eric Worre is an introvert. The best people, I think, are massive introverts. He'll tell you, I'm scared to death of everybody. I'm scared of you. And it comes out, and I don't even know how it comes out. And she's right about everything she's saying. And I'm telling you, I think most of you think you are introverts. Most of you probably aren't. You're not cool enough. But to be a really cool introvert, you got to have a channel like hers. You got to buy her book. Wrong or right?
Maybe not exactly a logical jump, but definitely a good idea. Whether you are an extrovert or an introvert, whether you're a dude buying Do It Anyway girl or a lady, you should be checking out this book. I'm telling you, I was really, really impressed with what you have put together, and I'm excited. So after the break, what I want to really dive into is, how this YouTube thing began to take a life of its own, and how that led on to Facebook Live and everything that you've done. And so we'll get into that after the break. But before we go there, while you're on the break, make sure you go to doitanewaygirl.com. Get on the list. The book is about to launch. Maybe even by the time you're listening to it, you'll actually go straight to the place where you can buy it. But no matter what, go to doitanewaygirl.com and check out what Michelle is up to. There's lots of cool resources inside of that book too that you're going to want to get access to once you have the book. So we'll be right back on the Genesis Communication Network. Not bad.
Unbelievable takeaway. Yeah, so Adrian's turning it. So he's setting this whole thing up to fire me, or he's expected to permanently die. So he has just got the hang of radio. He's got the hang of the whole deal. And I wanted to say this during the show a lot more instead of the commercial, but I just love your vim and vigor. The vibe that you've got. When he told me about you first, then I had to go watch some of the videos because he said you were an expert on the videos, and I thought nobody's as good as me. And so I went and looked at stuff you've done, and you're so good and you're so natural, and it doesn't surprise me at all, but it kind of surprises me because it just behind the camera to be able to walk in as an introvert, scared to walk into a room of 5 people and even move your mouth. That was me. But I'm telling you what, you have owned this camera, and it's so cute that you talked about the Cruddy YouTube channel, because you don't have to be perfect. Just get started and go figure out what your vibe is, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yep, I love that.
So I'm gonna plug contact mapping for a minute, if that's okay, just because we're the sponsor of the show. So we're gonna go there for just a minute.
Go hit it.
So Michelle, I know you got a chance to connect with Elizabeth from our team a week or two ago, didn't you?
I did, yes.
So talk a little bit from your perspective about how you see contact mapping fitting in for somebody that's building a business in network marketing, if you would.
You know, I am a simple trainer. Like in everything that I train, I always share the non-techie simple versions, right? Like let's make this as easy as possible. And when you jump on contact mapping, like just get the free version. When you jump on this thing, it works the way your brain works. You get off the phone with someone, you're like, oh shoot, I got to remember that. And so you open the app and it's like, write the note down. Like, okay, I'll write the note down because that's the most important thing I'm going to forget right now. I will write it down right here. So you write it down and then it's like, who do you want to attach it to? And you're like, oh yeah, duh. We got to attach it to the person. You attach it to the person and then it says, when do you want to follow up with the person? I mean, it's like everything you need so that you're not forgetting things. And it's just genius. It's simply genius. And I love how it's 2 people a day. Just do 2 people a day. And you're not wrong about that. Just simple little actions taken day in and day out will change your life. And so I love what you guys have built. It's genius. I wish I had it when I was in the industry.
Well, thank you so much. And just like anything, right? 1 YouTube video a week is what you started off committing to. Like the power of consistency that compounds just a little bit at a time, taking a little bit of action, but making sure that you're doing it on that consistent basis. That is what building a big business is made of, right?
I did it. You know, with that consistency, I was a success. I am the biggest train wreck in the world, Michelle. I am a great place to visit, but you don't want to live here. And what's so great about me, I was impossible to fire because of my Rolodex in those days. And there was just, no one would really mess with me because of all the people that I knew. And that's been a huge weapon for me to fight off people wanting to fire me, and to be able to do what I do now and digitize literally everything and have people's, just a minute ago, I asked you for a CPA down in San Antonio, Texas. Somebody called me on the phone, said, I need a CPA in San Antonio. Who do I know in San Antonio? Adrian. He called a big guy. What was his name?
Reagan
Lewis, who is a beast. He writes books with his wife, sells them on Amazon. Cool guy. And this whole thing linked together. The next thing you know, for 5 seconds, we had the best people for these people. And because all we really want to do is be connected and know who to call to get anything. And now you're in our loop, and anything we have, we give away. We are not scarcity people. Our contacts trust us because we don't screw people, and it works out. And that's what we love about her.
That's exactly right. Yeah. And
Love it.
to be able to be that kind of person, to, for others, for yourself, to be able to have, that somebody asks you for something or I need something, and to be able to go, okay, I don't know the answer, but I know where to find the answer, and I can, I know that person's going to pick up the phone when I call. That's a magical way to be able to live. It's you become somebody that people are attracted to because they know that you're going to be able to help them in their business. And I know you did a lot with those networking events and that kind of thing. That's a big, the way that you ultimately get people to give you referrals is that you give first, and they're going to want to give to you naturally because they see that that's the kind of person you are. So go to contactmapping.com/free, get it set up for free, and we're coming back.
And we're back. It is the Network Marketing Leadership Show. This is a long segment, and we are going to get to what makes this woman, Michelle Cunningham, tick. What it is that she can teach you that's going to make you tick better. And I'm just telling you, she is a great guest, and she is a great woman. And what I like is there doesn't feel like there's any hype. It feels like total authenticity. And all you really want to learn how to do is that. really just show people who you are, and you're going to attract people with your vibe to your tribe, where they feel like they can trust you, where they feel loved by you, where they feel safe with you, and that whole shot. And that is what happens. And I'm excited by her, and I'm excited by what she does, and I want people to follow her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, one of the things we were talking about this a little bit on the break, and maybe this is where we can kind of pick back up on your journey of going online, is that we can, you got this YouTube thing, you're an introvert, you're kind of figuring things out. And one of the things that I think you do really well is, before I clicked through to one of your videos, you look great on camera, you've got this beautiful background, like I'm thinking like this is going to be the most buttoned up put together person in the world. And I think one of the things that is very endearing about what you've done, Michelle, is that you really are that like approachable friend. You're willing to laugh at yourself, you have fun. And is that something that you had to learn to allow yourself to kind of let that guard down? Is that something that you did naturally and you found that it worked? Or how did you kind of come to that way of being a little bit less sort of taking yourself too seriously when you're delivering content?
Yeah, I think just for me, I just like it's easier for me to just be me, right? Not to be a version of me that's not me. And so I just was me. Like I literally just had a kid walk in the room and she's right next to me over here. I'm like, it is what it is, right? It's like we're all parents trying to manage, and some of us have pets, which whatever you have, we all have stuff. And so there's just something real about that. Like, hey, I'm doing the best I can with, raising a family and doing the things that I'm doing. So yeah, and what was interesting to me is one of my videos that I was sitting there, I didn't even have a ring light back then. I didn't have a microphone back then. And the only thing I knew was that if I sat really close to my laptop, I got good light, I got good audio really close to the laptop. And if I sat with the window behind it, I looked hotter. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'll sit near the computer and I'll sit close to the window. And one of those videos, my background was messy. I had stuff everywhere in my office. It was just really disheveled, but I was having this moment I had to share. And what's so crazy is that Today Show picked up that video and put a snippet of me on the Today Show, that stupid little video. And I just remember thinking, it's just so funny. Like just this weird, authentic, just mom with a messy office with like sort of good lighting. That was likable to them. And so I guess that's just it. It's just be you, and you're gonna attract your tribe, whatever that is, no matter how outlandish or crazy you are. There's people I watch, they're not my jam. And there's people I watch and they are my jam. And I know that about me. There's people that watch. I've actually heard someone say, Michelle Cunningham's not my cup of tea. No, I would be silly to think I'm everyone's cup of tea. There's certain people that are excited to watch Michelle Cunningham, and other people think I'm a little crazy, right? And that's okay. So just be you and you'll attract your people. That's what's so cool about it.
What's your average video length?
8 minutes.
8 minutes. Oh, my daughter, I'm calling her. She told me I have 2 minutes of content max. But then they had that Trent Shelton on a couple of days ago, and that guy's got 20 million followers by doing 2-minute videos too. So, 8 minutes, I would watch you for 80 minutes. So I got that. And I can understand why my daughter thinks 2 minutes.
You're about a 2-minute dose.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I also find that perfect wheelhouse for you, right? So how often do you do a video?
The goal is once a week, but I'm inconsistent. And I tell that to people. I'm like, try to do one a week. I know, but sometimes you'll forget. But don't quit on yourself when you forget. Just get back up and do it again. And so that's always my goal, is to do one a week. And not completely consistent. This is my 5-year-old that's just cuddled up to me right now. She's sweet as can be. Just sweet as can be. I put daddy in charge of watching the kids.
Every day is take your children to work day in this whole deal that we're going through. And it's the best. So
it is the best.
There's actually there's a good segue here. So one of the people who I love the most in network marketing, and who I love how gracious he is about this, is Ray Higdon's daughter Sabrina. Like once a week at least, just comes in the room and wants to be part of it, and he will stop everything. He's like, "Hey Sabrina," and he brings her on, and it's like she's a fixture of his videos. She's part of the thing. Hello, can you say hi?
Hi, Lou. This is Alyssa. We call her Lissy Lou, so her name's Lulu. She's
Oh,
playing with a mirror on her face. Can you say hi to the boys?
hi. So he does that, but I just love that about him. And the reason I specifically wanted to mention that is because I loved in the book you actually Ray Higdon is part of your journey of figuring out that live video is part of your magic, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Live video. I mean, and that's what, my kids will come in. She just found my son's fart machine. Okay. This is not. All right. Mommy's on a live. You go play with your video games for right now. Okay. But okay, we'll charge it in 1 sec. Take mommy's phone. Go play with that. So yeah, live video, my kids will come in and I'll never forget seeing someone live and their kid came in. We probably all saw this. It was like a viral video. And the guy was like on with like someone really important, and his kid came in and he's like, get away. And then the other kid, he's pushing away, but he's live. And I'm like, that's maybe not how to act. Like maybe just invite the kid in until someone comes to save you. So when my kids walk in, sometimes they know they can sit on my lap when I'm doing a podcast like this. Well, no, this is maybe not the best time. We're messing up audio and whatnot, but they'll pop in and say hi and then they know to go. But if I try to shoo them away, then that's disastrous. Then they,
It
they hang
always
around.
worse. Yeah, my daughter came in on a training I was doing the other day, and I was like, whatever, she can sit on. I have a couch in my office, so she's sitting on the couch. I'm like, that's fine. And then she just starts making these like horrible faces, which she never does. I was like, why are you doing that? Like, what possessed you to decide you're gonna like make faces in the background of this video? But it's all you just gotta roll, right?
Totally.
And so you got plugged in with Ray in this 14-day challenge, and what happened there? How did that kind of shift and open up maybe even a new kind of dimension for you?
What was crazy is I was a YouTuber because YouTube is safe. And I say that to a lot of people that are scared about doing video. I say, get on YouTube then, because you can film a video and then edit the heck out of it till you look genius. Edit out the edit out the stupidity, and you look amazing. So I loved YouTube, and I'll never forget when Periscope came out. I was like, okay, I'm going to do this Periscope thing. You could go live. And I went live on that Periscope thing, and I was nervous to go live. And I went live, and my son came into the room. He was 2 or 3 at the time, and he'd never said this word in his life before, but he goes, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, while I'm live. And I am just like, in YouTube land, I can edit this right now. I don't know what to do. And I was so horrified. So that was, if he's 8 now, that was 6 years ago. I was so horrified. I didn't make a live video for I think 3 or 4 years after that. Like it shook me so much, like, oh, that was so awful. And then I'm like, but now I'm like, what really was that so awful? Like it is what it is. Right. So what helped is taking Ray Higdon's 14-day challenge. I did that challenge and he said, 14 days, you have to go live. And he said, do something you don't know anything about. And so I went out to my garage and I got out the thing that cleans your house that I don't even know what it's called. It's water. You shoot the house. Power washer. So I'm like, I'm going to show you guys how to power wash your house. So I'm live and the thing is broken. And so it's just the video is a complete disaster. It's broken. It's exploding smoke. I mean, it's like bombing. I don't even know what I'm doing, but it was interesting just filming that video and seeing the people laugh and like laugh with me. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, you guys, this is so bad. And like, I was legitimately laughing like you would laugh with family where you've just like lost it, but they loved it. And it got so many views and people were like, this was amazing. And I'm like, really? Huh. And it just opened my eyes. So like, maybe just a little bit of that is good. Like just to let them into your life. So that his training was so helpful for me. Cause then I was like, all right, I'm going to start being consistent going live. And so I set a schedule. Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm always live and I show up and I serve and I'm there for my audience and it's fun. I give away prizes and we have a great time. So I love it.
Yeah. Really, very cool. And exactly, so you actually are, I want to hear the story. I've never asked you this question before because you were a very early adopter of doing Facebook Lives before people were training much on it. It came out and you just started doing it. What inspired you to do that?
Authenticity. I know people love hot messes. And I looked on there and everybody else was hips looking cool. And I said, you know what? Facebook needs a train wreck. And it's so astounding me all the time that people tell me I'm like good at Facebook because I don't even know I know nothing. I know nothing about anything except hitting that live button and going now just for 2 minutes, but I do it every day. and I just talk about what's coming out of my mouth. I don't care. I don't care what I look like. I don't care about the light. The worse it is, the more people like it, and I think we're just so sick and tired of being sold something, and they just want to hear from somebody real, talking about nothing. And I actually do
the Jerry Seinfeld of network marketing.
I am, and I don't have any wisdom. I'm just a hot mess done well, and that's what people want to be when they grow up, is a chance to not be all buttoned down and proper, I think.
Yeah.
So
So for somebody who is wanting to dip a toe in the pond, either with YouTube or Facebook Live, what's one thing you would say to them to inspire them to take that step?
I would say just film. You know, what I did is I went on YouTube and I started to watch other people. There's so many different ways to make YouTube videos. But I said, oh, I like this girl. And who inspired me was a girl named, oh gosh, I'm going to draw a blank. She's the most organized house in America. You can just find that video on YouTube. She's got millions and millions of views on the most organized house. Alejandra Costella, that's her name, Alejandra Costella. But I just watched her, and what I loved about her was sometimes she was buttoned up and perfect, and then sometimes she was just super inspired and a total mess. She would like just wake up and be like, guys, I was thinking about organizing. I got to show you my kitchen. I'm so excited. And so you would jump from really buttoned up video to like just really regular version of her. And she was so passionate about organizing that I was like, I remember watching, she's so many millions and millions of views and had built a brand around it. And I was like, I'm going to do this somehow. I don't know how she did this, but this inspires me that she has built a business organizing her home. Like what, So, so that's what I would say is just watch someone, get inspired by them, and then just start to make some videos. And that's initially why I started my organizing channel. I was going to be like her. And then I realized I hate organizing.
It's good. Good realization. All right. So on the break, you got to go get on the wait list to get Michelle's book. So go to doitanyway.girl.com, get on the list. And do you know how far away we are on the book coming out? Not far.
4 weeks. Yeah.
You
Soon.
have to be. You will thank us later. So go to doitanyway.girl.com on the break, and we're coming right back.
Okay, so here we are in the commercial. Go buy the book. I mean, how much are you going to charge for it?
I don't even know that.
You don't. So they're going to get on the list to buy the book, but with not in the blind. So
I don't even know. There's a team involved with all this madness. Yeah.
Just keep moving. You just figure it out. You want whatever the price is, you want it. Trust me. So
Yeah.
So you have a publisher? Did I hear that?
No, we're publishing on Amazon, but I'm using a team. They said they knew how to price it. I'm like, just price it low so a lot of people can buy it. Can that be the strategy? So I don't know that I have an answer to that yet.
To the top. I'm telling you, we went right up. We got to the top of about 4 different categories in a month. So yeah, you'll do it. We know how to do that. We can help you. Keep going.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool.
Cool.
So, question for you. You're doing these videos, you're getting people to connect with you. So I guess number one is, how, for somebody who's creating videos, trying to grow a business, what can you do to inspire more conversation where people are reaching out to you based on videos that you're creating?
Yeah, it's a great question. Initially I didn't know anything about call to action or getting people on an email list, which is really the smartest thing you can do when you have videos, have a call to action and capture an email. But initially what I did was just like, hey, if you like this video and you want to reach out to me, shoot me a text. That was my call to action because I had no fancy automation. But it can be as basic as that, where people send you a text message and now you're starting the conversation. So people would text me or they'd email me and they'd ask me questions and I would answer their questions just like a nice person would. And over the years, they were testing me. These people were saying, do I like her? Do I like her leadership? Do I want to join her team or do I want to buy products from her? And those people would come back to me, or they'd even, down the road, I started selling a CD and they bought the CD. They listened to it for years. And then they come back and say, okay, I'm ready. I want to join your team now. Because it was with them all that time. So it was pretty crazy to me that was never my intention when I set out with my channel. And they found me and reached out to me. And it was pretty cool.
That is really cool. And I love that, that's so organic, right? Like, hey, you want to chat? Like, have any questions? Send me a text message, like whatever that is, that it's just like we're just having a conversation here. I think there's something really powerful about that as well, right?
Yeah, totally. And what was cool is with these people, like I remember the first time someone reached out to me, I was like, this is a scam. There's no way this is legit. And they were like, I talked to them on the phone and they were so cool. They were like me. They were energetic and they were hyper and they had kids and we had the same energy. And so it was attracting like my true friends to me. And so anyone now that finds me online, I know that they're going to be my friend because they liked me, they found me, they reached out to me, just like how you reached out to me, Adrian. We just hit it off
Yep.
because you found me, you liked me, you reached out to me, and we just connected. That's what happens is like I find these super cool friends that I am super connected to because of social media and my videos.
That's so cool. And I think there's this sense, I felt like I knew you before I knew you. And that that sort of short circuits a certain amount of sort of like feeling somebody. It's like, well, like I know that I'm going to like you because I felt your personality. And so then it's like, okay, now you've got to size this person up on the other side. But it makes a much faster to build a relationship, I think. Don't you?
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah. Yeah. Over the years, I mean, it brought me so much success because people would come on and they're ready to rock and roll when they joined my team. They'd put down their walls, put down their barriers, and they're like, I found the perfect leader. Now I'm ready to run. And then they would just skyrocket. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. All right, go to contactmapping.com/free, and we're coming back to the main show. Last segment.
And we're back. It is Tom Chenault, it's Adrienne Chenault, and it's Michelle Cunningham, and she's written this phenomenal book. So a couple of people texted me and said, okay, Tom, that's great. What's the book actually about? Does she give network marketing tips? Yes. Does she teach you how to do videos? Yes. Does she teach you some lines that you can use with people to build your business? Yes. Will she help introverts build their business? Yes. All those things that you really want out of the book are in the book. So it isn't some technical book that written by some guy from MIT with a PhD. It is a book. Sorry, Rick. It is a book that people like Joe Lunchbox, like me, a man, can read and get some tips on how to talk to people and actually how to expand it even more, put it on the internet and draw people to you, right?
True.
Okay.
I think you need an alternate cover that says "Do It Anyway, Guy." That is the exact same book.
Yeah, people
Do it anyway, dude.
Dude,
Yeah,
there we go.
right.
I like it. So, this is one other thing I wanted to cover because I think a lot of times, there's a lot of different people out there. There's questions about, what's the status of this person. So, am I correct? You are now full-time as a coach and trainer in network marketing. You're no longer building. Is that right?
Yeah, that is true. A year ago, I left. My online brand had grown so big that it was a difficult decision to leave when you're a leader and you're growing a team. But I really felt like God had said, hey, you spent 17 years in the industry, but this is your new calling. You have all these people. I was getting so many messages, people wanting training and serving. And so I just made that decision. Like to try to do both was too much. It wasn't the balance I wanted. And so I decided to go totally in with just being a coach. And it has never been more clear that this is where I'm meant to be. I love it. My people online are my passion. I just love what I do so much. I love the people that I help. I love serving the industry and I love meeting amazing people like you, which when I was so busy with the other thing before, I didn't even have time to watch any of this stuff. Like I was super disconnected, just trying to manage all that. So I love it. It's fantastic and fun.
That's cool. And I think, that's just such an important thing, right? For, if you're a leader in such and such company and you're, somebody in your team is saying, hey, I want to go and do this course with Michelle Cunningham or whatever. And you're going, oh, geez, you're about to get recruited to some other deal or whatever. And so I think there's just it's important. And I think it's fantastic that you have put that flag in the ground saying, I'm all in on this coaching business. That's what I'm doing. Your people are safe with me no matter what company they come from. That's a really powerful thing.
And
Yeah,
online coaching, do you do online coaching? Do you do one-on-one coaching? How is this all go? Are you doing seminars, webinars? What does that all look like?
It's a good question. I consider myself a course creator. So I create content that people can consume on their own schedule. And then I'm also interactive in Facebook communities where they can, if they're part of that course, hey, catch me on Wednesdays. I'm live at 1 p.m. if you're a member of that course. Or if you're in this course, I'm live on Wednesday at 2 p.m. So they can still interact with me and they also can get some free time with me. I do have one course that is a higher level course for people that want to build a brand like I have and monetize it. That one they get to access me on Voxer. So they'll message me a few times a week and just say, hey, this is what I'm working on. Is this good? Is this smart? And I'll say, yeah, no, it's awesome. Definitely do that. That'll get you a lot of business. So that one's really fun for me. And it's just a very limited amount of students. I wouldn't be able to manage more than that, but that's a lot of fun for me.
That's really cool. And so the book's coming out, that's the next big thing you talked about. It sounds like there's a couple books coming down the pipe, right?
The one after that.
Coming.
Well, yeah, the thing is when you buy your ISBN, they make you buy a pack of 10. So I'm like, oh, shoot. Well, I got to write 10 things now. So, right. So it's like you need one ISBN for each, the audio, the actual, and then the ebook. I'm like, okay, so now I got to write 2 more books. So my next book's going to be You Are a $1 Million Brand. And I'm going to show people how to step into their greatness and own their awesome and build $1 million brand online. And then the next book hasn't come to me yet, but I'll put it together. I got 3 more ISBNs to use up.
And how about your husband? Have you been able to retire the bum, and is he just a full-time father, or what does he do?
He likes working. So, and you know, he's a computer software guy and he likes working. So he does his thing. You know, we are laughably, it's fantastic. We sold our house. We had nowhere to move to. So we moved into a 2-bedroom apartment right now. So this is my bedroom and he's in the kids' bedroom. That's his office. And then the kids toddle in the little middle room. That's all we have. And it actually works pretty good. So he's working over there. I'm working over here.
Not just being in close quarters like that and being around each other all the time. It's awesome.
I love it. We came from a lot of space and we're moving back into a lot of space, but I'm pretty happy in my 2-bedroom. He's not as happy. He likes more space, but I'm pretty good with it.
Enterprise software calls are maybe not as quite as amenable to kids crawling into your lap than
yes.
Facebook.
he's on with some bitty, like, yeah, I can tell it's a big person when he's like, you know, like looks at me like, don't even interrupt, you know? So mine's a little more playful.
Like how real you are. We like how comfortable in your own skin you are. We want to help you help people, because that's all this all boils down to, is helping people. And thank you so much, Michelle Cunningham, because we felt your heart today, and that's what we want on this show. And you were right. That's all. Adrian had you nailed the whole time. He knew that this was going to show. This was going to be like this.
Yeah, no, it's really fun, and awesome. We're cheering you on. We want to help you sell book number 2 and book number 3 when it comes, and we are big fans of Michelle Cunningham, and just I think you're making a difference in the world, and that people need to hear what you have to say. So thanks so much for being here with us, and everybody, make sure you go to doitanywaygirl.com and go and grab a spot on the waiting list for this amazing book. I read it. You're going to love it. And big Marina Simone, is that right? She was one of the people that gave you a shout out in the front of the book. Is that right?
Yeah, Marina Simone, Ray Higdon, Kimberly Olsen.
Yeah, just commenting like
Angela Brooks loves you.
Angela Brooks, yeah, we love her.
So you got a lot of big fans out there. So thank you so much. We got to get out of here.
All right. See y'all next week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you later. We love her. Got her book.
All right, we're off the radio. We got a couple more minutes here on Facebook. Thank you so much, Michelle. You are awesome. And tell Lulu, thank you for making a guest appearance.
Do we have any idea who our guest is next week? Since we didn't say that on the air. Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot.
You should hear Marianne. You can throw your face on the screen, Marianne, if you want. Marianne is the greatest producer, engineer, Jason. We are a hot mess. Works out. 400.
We are a hot mess today.
Ray, that whole thing with 400,000 views.
For his book launch today?
No, not with Ray, with what's his name, with Eric.
Oh,
on the one we did with that.
400,000.
Yeah. Ray's launching his book today.
Yeah.
On top of Eric.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
You're kidding.
That's going to be a good book too, though.
No, I want to.
Time, money, freedom. Yeah.
If this 7-day challenge would ever end. Now they're going 2 more days, I heard.
I heard that too.
And then what we'll do is that we'll hop on there and promote the crud out of Ray. We love Ray Higdon. Ray Higdon is the man.
He is.
And Niehaus, he had a publisher.
I know. Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Okay, you guys, Shashin Gavandir, is that how you say it?
You're having that guy?
Yeah, he confirmed he's going to be on.
700,000 Instagram followers. And he's kind of a crypto guy, but he's a good motivational guy.
Wow.
So I chased him down, and we're going to see if this could be a terrible show. It could be.
We never know. He seems really good, though. He seems good. I think he'll be okay.
Michelle Cunningham, we love you.
All right.
Thanks, you
Thank
guys.
I love you guys.
Love you.
Take care. Bye.
Buy her book and raise.
Okay, I'm going to
Bye,
end
guys.
this.
Thank you.
Bye.